Did Dawn Staley make a major mistake by choosing Diana Taurasi over Caitlyn Clark for the U.S. Olympic basketball team? Taurasi's recent performance, 0 points, 0 assists, and 0 rebounds in 14 minutes, has fans and analysts questioning Staley's judgment. Let's break down this controversial decision and its implications for women's basketball. Dawn Staley, the head coach of the U.S. Olympic basketball team, is facing intense criticism for her roster selection. The choice to include veteran player Diana Taurasi over rising star Caitlyn Clark has sparked heated debates among fans and experts alike. Taurasi's disappointing stat line in a crucial Olympic game has only added fuel to the fire. But why was Caitlyn Clark, the rookie sensation who's been lighting up the WNBA, left off the team? Her exclusion has raised eyebrows and left many wondering about the selection criteria. Is it a case of favoring experience over emerging talent, or are there other factors at play? Did Staley make a colossal mistake, or is there more to this story than meets the eye? As we dive deeper into this controversy, we'll explore the reasoning behind these choices and their potential impact on the future of women's basketball. To understand the controversy surrounding Diana Taurasi's selection, we need to look at her impressive career and recent challenges. At 42 years old, Taurasi is a basketball legend with 5 Olympic gold medals. She's widely regarded as one of the greatest women's basketball players of all time, but recent injuries and declining performance have raised questions about her current form. Taurasi's defenders argue that her experience and past achievements justify her selection for the Olympic team. They point to her leadership skills and ability to perform under pressure in high-stakes international competitions. These intangibles, they claim, are invaluable to a team aiming for gold. Taurasi herself has addressed the challenges of transitioning from college to professional basketball, saying, "The game of basketball is all about evolving. It's all about getting comfortable with your surroundings." She added, "Each one almost is like a different dance you have to learn." This perspective sheds light on the complexity of player development and the value of experience in international competitions. However, critics argue that past achievements shouldn't overshadow current performance. Taurasi's recent stats leading up to the Olympics were far from her peak. Her scoring average had dropped, and she was struggling with consistency. The shocking Olympic performance, 0 points, 0 assists, and 0 rebounds in 14 minutes, seemed to confirm these concerns. This decline in performance is at the heart of the controversy. Basketball is a sport where numbers often tell the story, and Taurasi's recent stats haven't been painting a pretty picture. Fans and analysts are questioning whether her name recognition and past glory are outweighing her current contributions on the court. The decision to select Taurasi over emerging talents like Caitlyn Clark raises important questions about team composition in international competitions. Should veteran presence always trump raw talent and current form? What's the right balance between experience and performance? Selecting veterans like Taurasi over younger stars sends a complex message to emerging players. On one hand, it rewards loyalty and long-term contributions to the sport. It acknowledges the value of experience in high-pressure situations. But on the other hand, it might discourage young talents who are putting up impressive numbers and feel they've earned their shot at Olympic glory. This controversy highlights the challenging decisions facing coaches and selected debates among fans and experts alike. The rapidly changing landscape of women's basketball adds another layer to this discussion. The influx of talented young players like Caitlyn Clark is raising the overall level of competition. These rising stars are not just performing well, they're transforming the game and attracting new fans. In light of these developments, even Dawn Staley has had to reconsider her stance. In a revealing statement, Staley admitted that if the selection were made today, Caitlyn Clark would be in really high consideration. This admission underscores how quickly things can change in sports and the need for selection processes to be flexible and responsive. While Diana Taurasi's selection has sparked debate, the exclusion of Caitlyn Clark from the Olympic team has ignited a firestorm of controversy. Clark isn't just any rookie, she's a phenomenon who's taking the WNBA by storm and changing the face of women's basketball. Let's look at the numbers. In her debut WNBA season, Clark is averaging an impressive 16.3 points and 6.6 assists per game. These aren't just good stats for a rookie, they're elite numbers that put her among the league's top performers. Clark's impact on the court is undeniable, showcasing a combination of scoring ability and playmaking skills that's rare for a first-year player. But Clark's influence extends far beyond the stat sheet. She's become a cultural icon, bringing unprecedented attention to women's basketball. Her games have shattered viewership records, with a single match drawing 2.302 million viewers, the highest for a WNBA broadcast in 23 years. This kind of star power is exactly what many argue the Olympic team needs to elevate the profile of women's basketball on the global stage. Clark's supporters are vocal in their belief that she deserved a spot on the team. They point to her on-court performance, arguing that her current form outweighs the experience of some veteran players. But it's not just about numbers. Clark's ability to attract new fans and generate excitement around the sport is seen seen as invaluable for growing the game internationally. Critics of the selection process have gone as far as labeling Clark's omission one of the worst basketball decisions in recent memory. They argue that leaving out arguably the best player in women's basketball, and certainly its biggest draw, is a missed opportunity to showcase the sport's bright future on the Olympic stage. The backlash against Dawn Staley has been swift and intense. Fans have taken to social media to express their disappointment and frustration. Some suggest that the selection committee prioritized established names over emerging talent, raising questions about the fairness and transparency of the process. The controversy took an unexpected turn when reports emerged that Staley had blocked some Twitter users who criticized her decision. This personal reaction added fuel to the fire, with many seeing it as an inability to handle legitimate criticism of her choices as a coach and selector. Clark herself has handled the situation with grace and maturity. While expressing disappointment, she's framed the exclusion as motivation for future opportunities. "I think it just gives you something to work for," Clark said. "Hopefully, when 4 years comes back around, I can be there." This response has only endeared her further to fans who admire her resilience and determination. The controversy surrounding Clark's exclusion has sparked broader discussions about selection criteria in women's sports. It highlights the tension between rewarding established veterans and recognizing rising stars who are currently dominating the game. Should current form be the primary factor, or do intangibles like experience and leadership play a more significant role? This debate isn't unique to basketball. Across women's sports, there's an ongoing conversation about how to balance tradition with innovation, how to honor the pioneers of the game while also embracing its future stars. Clark's case has become a focal point for these discussions, forcing sports organizations to reconsider their approach to team selection. The situation also raises questions about the role of marketability in sports. In an era where athlete branding and social media presence can significantly impact a sport's popularity, should these factors be considered alongside athletic performance? Clark's ability to draw viewers and generate buzz is undeniable, and many argue that this star power could have been a valuable asset for the Olympic team. The controversy surrounding Caitlyn Clark's Olympic snub goes beyond just one player or one team. It shines a spotlight on broader issues facing women's sports today. At its core, this debate represents the ongoing tension between honoring established veterans and embracing rising stars. On one side, we have the old guard, players like Diana Taurasi, who've dedicated their lives to the game and paved the way for its growth. These athletes have hard-earned experience in high-pressure international competitions. Their leadership and composure in clutch moments can be invaluable. But on the other side, we have the new wave of talent, players like Caitlyn Clark, who are redefining what's possible on the court and bringing unprecedented attention to the sport. These rising stars are setting new performance benchmarks and attracting a whole new generation of fans. This clash between experience and current form isn't unique to basketball. It's a challenge faced across women's sports as they continue to evolve and grow in popularity. The question is, how do we strike the right balance? The impact of this controversy could lead to significant changes in how teams are selected in the future. It's forcing organizations to reassess their criteria and consider whether current systems are truly serving the best interests of the sport. One potential outcome could be a more transparent selection process. Fans and players alike are calling for clearer explanations of how decisions are made. This could involve publicizing specific performance metrics or providing detailed rationales for each selection. Another possibility is the implementation of a hybrid system that allocates a certain number of spots for veterans and others for top performers regardless of age or experience. This could ensure a mix of seasoned leadership and fresh talent on every team. The role of popularity and marketability in sports selection is another key issue brought to light by this controversy. In today's social media-driven world, an athlete's ability to draw viewers and generate buzz can significantly impact a sport's growth and financial success. Caitlyn Clark's massive following and record-breaking viewership numbers make a strong case for considering these factors. After all, isn't growing the sport and inspiring new fans part of the Olympic mission? But critics argue that selecting based on popularity could compromise the integrity of the competition. They say the focus should remain solely on-court performance and team chemistry. Finding a middle ground might involve creating separate roles for ambassador athletes who can help promote the sport without necessarily taking a playing spot on the team. This could allow organizations to leverage star power while still prioritizing performance in team selection. Improving the selection process moving forward will require careful consideration and possibly some creative solutions. One approach could be implementing a point system that weighs various factors like current stats, past achievements, international experience, and yes, even marketability. This could provide a more objective framework for making tough decisions. Another idea is to involve a wider range of voices in the selection process. This could include current players, sports psychologists, and even fan representatives. A more diverse selection committee might bring fresh perspectives and help balance different priorities. Regular review and adjustment of selection criteria could also be beneficial. The landscape of women's basketball is evolving rapidly, and the selection process should be flexible enough to keep pace with these changes. The Caitlyn Clark controversy has ignited crucial conversations about the future of women's basketball. It's clear that the sport is at a crossroads, balancing respect for veteran players with the need to showcase emerging talent. This debate goes beyond team select, touching on issues of marketability, fan engagement, and the growth of women's sports as a whole. As the dust settles, it's evident that changes are needed in the selection process. Greater transparency, a more diverse selection committee, and flexible criteria that can adapt to the sport's rapid evolution are all potential solutions. But ultimately, the goal should be to field the best possible team while also inspiring the next generation of players and fans.